Hey guys, welcome to the next weekly dev stream of Spire of Sorcery. I'm gonna entertain you for a couple of minutes and then my colleague will join me to show you the latest build which is being assembled right now. Meanwhile, I have my other colleague with me here. She doesn't say much during streams, but she's fully with you. And she's been a part of this development. Today is a birthday of our previous game, Gremlins, which celebrates today 4 years out. It launched in on 11th of March in 2016 after just 5 months in early access. And we've been then on sale in 16, 17, 18, 19, and now a bit of 2020. We just finished the Humble Bundle for digital tabletop games with 90,000 copies sold. And overall on Steam, we currently have 660,000 owners of the game, give or take. So that explains where the experience comes from for us in terms of how we support games and whether or not our games are being updated or not. When we launched, I remember a lot of questions were that as a multiplayer game, you guys are going to probably stop servicing it in 6 months, but look, we are here 4 years later and we still support the game and update the game, and we expect the same for Spire of Sorcery. Now for Spire of Sorcery, today we'll talk about actions of players and consequences of those actions. Some are predictable, some are not predictable, so we'll touch on the concept of controlled random element in the game. I've got here my list of events that we currently edit, so I can give you an idea about certain events, like the real events that are in the game right now. And before that, if I figure a way of doing it, and I think I haven't. Yes, I have it. Good. I will show you some work in progress on user interface, which is taking some time. All right, so here's the world map. And let's say you click on this resource. What do you see? You see that this is a resource that you'll need this skill with a specific skill check to get, well, this resource. That's not the best option. We didn't like it much. It was not really obvious. So here's another iteration of the same thing where you click on this hex and you see that those are locusts and that you can prevail on them using destructive magic or travel skill or monstrology skill. We liked it a bit more, but we didn't like it that much. I mean, it gives you an idea that you can use through different skills, but that's about it. One option was to give you full details. So through magic you summon ravens, through travel you protect from bites, and through monstrology you repel those insects. Better than nothing, but still maybe not super good. So here we have the example with the creature, and we show you different options. The problem of this is that we don't really know what's going to happen when we hunt them. We hunt them and what? Don't really, make a choice, just hunt because of, hunting, and that's it. So here with the dwelling of mushroom eaters, you can see that you can hunt them and you get something which produces this alchemic substance. Again, not very obvious. So let's go to the next revision. And the next revision here is a bit more detailed. You probably saw it on Discord already. Basically, you can hunt, and the resource that you get has this alchemic property. You can destroy the creatures. You can call rain of fire, or you can create an illusion of stingtails through distortion magic. The problem with this is that we don't really know the consequence of Rain of Fire, and we don't really know what's going to happen when we hunt them. We're also not certain how challenging this destruction is. Yes, you need combat skill, attack to destroy them, but how do I figure out whether or not my party is good enough to destroy them? And now let's take a look at the next revision. So here we can see now that if you go here and you forage, then through herbology, foraging, level 1 to 4, you will gain certain items. This is the item that you will get, and this is the alchemic property of this item. So it's a bit more clear. If you have 0 foraging, you'll have no opportunity to do this. At the same time, you see that 4 is the maximum, so if you have someone at 4, it doesn't make sense to send someone with 6. Then you see which items you get, and then you see the alchemic properties of those items. It's a bit better. Here's a simplified version of Ruins. What you can do, only explore. You don't really know what's going to happen in there. Now, let's see what happens to the dwelling. A lot of information here. A lot of information. We didn't like that version because it was pretty confusing. So you can gain items. These are the items. This is the alchemic property of those items. You'll need astrology, hunting, level 3 to 8. Basically, you look at this and it takes some time to process this mentally. 0 to 10 destroy. What does it really mean? This is distortion magic. So you have level 8 spell, increase standing. That was a bit too much information without really empowering you to make any decisions. Here's the same thing with the creature. You can gain items, neutralize. What does it mean, neutralize? Like what is the consequence of this even? And then you've got destruction through combat and destruction through magic. All right, next revision. Next revision is a bit more simplified. You click on the creature and you can see that you can gain items through hunting, which belongs to monstrology. You have 3 different items and you have their alchemic properties. It's a bit more clear. Now we go here. So we structured all the possible gains in the event through player actions, and we figured out that you can gain items, you can destroy. You can completely destroy the whole thing without any dependency on whether or not there's a lot of creatures or just a few. You can temporarily freeze them, and you can change your diplomatic relationship. So here you don't see a lot of text. You don't really see any text. You just see the consequences on the right side. So you see that basically you start reading not from the left but from the right, and you see, oh, I can destroy them, I can destroy them, I can completely destroy them with, destructive magic level 10. Okay, now you know what? I can destroy them with combat. Oh, good. I can destroy them with hunting. Oh, and I also get stuff. So you basically choose from what you want to achieve, and then you measure whether or not what you want to achieve is achievable for you. Here's another example with a dwelling. So you can see that you can improve the diplomacy here and here. You can see that you can exterminate them here and here, and you get stuff here and you get stuff here. So basically you can kill everyone, get stuff using destructive magic, pretty expensive and high level. Or you can get stuff and destroy some of them through hunting 3 to 8. Doesn't really seem very much high up. You can also do combat 0 to 10. So even with 0, with 1, you have some chances to kill some. You don't really get loot. You don't really get anything except for this. Now, moving on to a different iteration. We thought we could give you a better idea that here you destroy some and here you destroy everything. You temporarily freeze, change relationship, and then gaining items. Well, that sort of evolved into guaranteed loot and chance of loot, guaranteed destruction and chance of destruction, and then snoozing, and then basically change of relations. So here, I think this is the latest version, or one of the latest version. You can see gigglers. Here's the stuff that falls out of them if you hunt them or kill them. Like basically this is the loot that you can get from them.
Yeah, and we're trying to connect this by the same icon. Like they have in their loot box this list of items, and the same icon is used in actions that you can choose to do. So you can clearly see that you'll get some items, and there is explanation which items you'll get. In this situation, we're showing what is guaranteed action and what is possible. So guaranteed you'll get loot in a hunting, but you're not guaranteed to kill a lot of them. But in a destruction, you'll guaranteedly destroy the whole party of the creatures, the whole squad. And for spells, it's always it's a rule for spells. You always have 100% success in any action you'll do through the spell. So all the spells will have this icon that shows that it's absolute success for you. For a dwelling, same situation. There is some options where there is only a possible option to kill someone and guaranteed option to kill someone. Let's quickly jump to the final version we want to implement. The only change is that we are trying to structure the information the way it will be easier to choose and to see all the possibilities. So we are trying to build semi-column system where you can see that on the left there is only destroy, then there is gain items, and there is diplomacy, and they're not overlapping each other, so it's easier to decide what you want to do and what actions you can do for this. So that's it. It's not in the game yet. We will work on it on the upcoming weeks, but for now I think we can switch to the real build and show the events that we've finished on this week. I think there's about 6 or 7 of them, and let me find the build. And while I'm looking for a build, let's switch to camera. And I want to say that today is a special build, not a special day, not only for Gremlins, but for our CEO Sergey. He has a birthday today, so I hope you everyone can say happy birthday in chat and
leave a positive and leave a not positive, not positive, no. Leave a user review, yes, somewhere. I'm just
fair and honest. Like, yes. You're not Gremlins, you're fair persons.
Yes, I am just typing the happy birthday on the Discord server of Gremlins, because we are 4, and then today's my birthday. Tomorrow is the birthday of our game designer,
yes,
Alexei. Yes.
He has been working on Gremlins and on Spire of Sorcery simultaneously. Okay, build is loading. Let's jump in and show what we have here. So mostly in the build, we've added events related to map dangers. What is a map
Maybe
danger?
Change the language.
Should we?
In the game.
Oh. Good idea.
Sorry, I'm gonna move this here.
English. Save. Yes. Okay, we're ready. Transition. Ta-da! So here's the map. You already saw it, but it
Can
has
you
some
zoom in?
changes.
Just yeah.
That'll be.
Oh, I love
some
the
updates.
Guys, look at the stinging ivy. There is finally stinging ivy in the forest. It is shown that you will face some problems there.
Yeah. So here's a forest around us, and there's new visual clues for you. There's stinging ivy illustrations drawn on a map. It shows you that there will be a guaranteed event if you step into this hex. So let's see. I want to go to the resource, and to go there I can go around and through the river. It'll take quite a lot of time, and I don't want this, so I'll go through the stinging ivy, and it will trigger the event. we are still working on an illustration for full screen, but you get the idea. Here's the options that we have in this event. Get through the tickets. It will use a skill check of knowledge of dangerous plants. What it will give us? It will allow us to pass through this event with some consequences. Consequences are simple for now because it's first events in the game. You'll get some damage from this stinging ivy. Search for a safe path. You will use a skill check of pathfinding, and the outcome will be that you'll lose some turns while you're looking for a safe path. It will delay you, but it won't hurt your HP, your party members' HP. So it's more or less safe option. And there is a clear the way with destruction of barriers. This option provides
Destruction
higher.
yeah. It's a geology skill check. And let me just open.
Yeah,
I mean, I've got the events right here.
Not all the text, but what this option gives you, there is this green circle on a 6th level of difficulty that will guaranteely destroy this obstacle for you.
Yeah, clear the way.
All
yes.
the previous options will allow you just to pass through with some consequences, and this option clears the way. Will have the option to clear the object on the map.
One more option to destroy it through spell. I have a spell called Rot, which is a level 1 of destructive magic, and it completely removes the ivy too.
Yeah. So we haven't destroyed it yet. So
take a look. Take a look at the new.
Sorry. I'll get back to the map here.
Take a look at the new icon of the party. You don't really see it because you have the resource icon. Just switch off the resource icons. I mean, you can probably switch them off. Can you?
Yes.
Yeah. So we've got a new version of the party icon. We went through a number of different options, and we settled on this one. You can see the stuff. This stuff is also used on the illustration for Dead Disciple. So if someone dies, then you will see a sort of a, not a funeral tomb, but basically
like pile of rocks, like a grave.
With the stuff, yeah,
grave in the fields.
That's what we're currently using. And then you can see that we're still working on the map. I mean, we're still developing the visual language and the interface for how you can understand where your party can move and where it cannot move. I wouldn't say that we're a few days away from the solution. I would say that we still have quite some work to do. And I don't really like the fact that these icons pop back when you switch them off, and then they just pop back.
They're not working properly right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Our next obstacle in the game, our next danger is swamp
bloodsuckers. Swamp bloodsuckers.
So they're spawn only in swamps.
Yep.
And the idea is that there is a nest that spawns this mosquitoes, bloodsuckers. Here is a nest.
Just switch off the resources so we're not distracted. So to give you an idea of the evolution of the events that is happening right now over the last few weeks, we didn't have any nest for bloodsuckers. We just had bloodsuckers, and then we had events where you had to pass through them and suffer certain damage. And then ultimately, we thought this is not fun, that you cannot really do anything with them. So we had to make a choice, whether they replicate, and there's a lot of them potentially, or and then we should have an option of just removing them, or they will not replicate, but then we have we don't really need the nest. So we decided to have the nest.
Yeah, if we will destroy a nest as one of the options in the event, all the mosquitoes will disappear, but it's high level skill check or high cost spell for
it's not super. Come on, it's like a level 1 spell called Acid Smoke. Okay. And I think
so. Let's jump into the event with mosquitoes. Okay, we've disabled the icons for resources, and there is resource to mine, so we'll mine it.
Oh no, wait a second, it's a nest.
Here it is. Swamp,
It's a-
swamp bloodsuckers.
So for the nest, it's a creation magic level 3. It's the Rain of Frogs.
Yeah, so it's higher than just destroying the group of bloodsuckers.
Yeah, level 3 is I mean, you're not able to do it immediately as you start the game. You have to work on this. So the first option you have is Smoke them out using Astrology knowledge of animal behavior.
Yep.
And it starts at 5 and it ends at 12. And you risk incurring damage, 5 and 7, and also catching a disease, swarm fever. Then you have a second option, which you do.
So you're talking about the nest, right? So
Yeah.
let's go to the nest and we'll. Oh,
Sorry.
they found us again. Okay, we will run away. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay, here we are at the nest. Here are the real options we have. So it starts as a 5, ends at a 12, and through the monstrology we can smoke them out. And the second option is poison the
basically the water puddle where they nest, where they grow.
where they reproduce. Yeah.
Yes, it's coming from a skill called Guile. Here you have a different icon. We haven't finished that icon yet, and it goes from 4 to 10. And again, you risk some damage to the specialist who does it, and then you have level 3 spell from the School of Creation Magic, which is the Rain of Frogs.
Both of these skill checks require at least some level in the monstrology or in a guile, 4 or 5, and none of our characters have it.
Just a
so
reminder,
we won't be able to pass them. So we're too small and unexperienced to destroy the nest. So we need to level up before we can get back and destroy to clear out the whole swamp from these dangers. So for now we can destroy only this small dangers that are moving constantly. That's our main idea of this area with dangers, is to give options for a player. He can try to find a safe way through this maze of obstacles. It's not always possible because there are a lot of them, and suggested path will give you 2 encounters with them. As you see, there's 2 red dots on the map, or you can go harder way and find where is a lesser amount of encounters, and they're moving at the end of their turn, of your turn. The dangers are moving on a map, and if they'll stop on a location with your party, they will trigger event with you. So it's quite dangerous.
As a reminder here, you don't need level 4 to complete the skill check level 4. You need to achieve this level 4 by a combination of your skill and your alchemic substances.
That's right.
So that's basically the opportunity. So you will be passing level 5 skill checks having just level 3 of skill. You'll just need to produce enough substances to use those substances. Anyway, I think the last thing that we need to talk today about, and we can switch back to the studio, is our approach to random events, or we can stay on the map. We like what we call a controlled random exposure, which means that you see bloodsuckers, you know where they move, and then you make the decision to go through that swamp. They move randomly, but you know the rules according to which they move. So you can kind of predict more or less accurately the risk of your adventure. And here you've got
locusts.
Locusts, yes, the flesh-eating locusts. This we like. Basically, we give you the chance of taking the risk, and if you take the risk, you take the risk. What we don't like is just random for the sake of random, where, for example, they will inflict on you damage between 1 and 3. Why not say 3 or just 2, so you know what to expect? And we have numerous discussions, more in the past, less right now. And we really make an effort of not letting too much random into this game, because we believe that random just for the sake of random doesn't really make the game any more fun. Maybe some people like it, maybe some games are made like this, but this is not what we're building. We're building a game where we want you to be in control of the risks that you're taking. And you need to plan your encounter by knowing and understanding the consequences.
So your decisions will affect the gameplay the most, not some random dice rolls somewhere behind the scene, but your choice is what will change the outcome of a situation. So yeah, we haven't shown only 2 more events with locusts, carnivorous locusts. So they're quite similar with bloodsuckers. We can destroy the danger on a hex, or we can destroy the whole region problem by destroying the nest of locusts. The visuals are work in progress, so there will be some kind of eggs of locusts probably on a map that you'll crush and destroy with magical or skills, and the whole plane will be cleared out of this problem.
Given that there is a real problem with locusts right now in Africa, we've got a bunch of reference materials, and it's a problem.
So we're showing real world problems in our game.
Yeah, I mean, if you consider that they actually would be eating flesh and not just the green stuff, that'll be even a bigger problem.
Super hungry, maybe. So yeah, that's it. Next step for us will be adding more events into the game. So for now we have 3 types of dangers. It's locusts, bloodsuckers, and poisonous clouds. We have a bunch of creatures that generate events. Next step will be adding more events with the creatures, because for now if I'll press C to highlight all the dangerous zones with the creatures, you can see that it's less than half of a map is available for you. There is only a couple of creatures with events right now. We'll rank up this amount.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
We need to add forest cats. We need to add stinktails.
Anyway,
and,
let's wrap. I think this is pretty much it for today. You can see that the build is getting better with every week. We also like it. We would love to move faster. Unfortunately, what happens right now is a lot of crunchy work on the events, and this cannot be rushed as we implement the events and we discuss and we revert and we discuss them more, because we expose some problems before they become problems in the game, and then you guys have to play something which is boring or too random or too unobvious. So we are putting as much effort as we can right now to make the event system and the events, actual events, as sort of ready to play as possible, rather than shipping something and then fixing it and then fine-tuning it. So probably will take us a couple more weeks to finish with all the 30 events.
So for now we are creating content and balancing it out. That's the main goal for upcoming week or 2.
And the main goal for us is to ship the build update to you so you can play Act 1, but we're still not at that point. I think we're still maybe months away from that point, but we're still not there.
Yep. So
thanks
hope you enjoyed watching this build.
Yeah, thanks for staying with us. Thanks for your patience to those of you who own the game on Steam, and you guys have been very patient for 3 months or 2 months. That was it's been 2 months, okay, so not really 3 months, 2 months and 10 days. But we really appreciate that, and we hope to ship the fun to play build in a few weeks. Not next week, not the week after that, but you can see that we're growing the birds.
The longer it gets, the closer we are to release.
You know, we're saving time. We're saving time. Yes, we're not like going to any haircutter now, and especially now with the quarantine and the pandemics. I think you'll see us with longer and longer and longer birds as we move closer to launch. But it's been 2nd week now that we all work from home, except for the young parents, and it's been all right. I mean, we had some challenges, and I guess some of our colleagues work in underpants, as opposed to like grown-ups getting dressed up and coming to the stream. But so far so good. So we haven't really lost any development speed, and that's the good news. And hopefully, you know, even if everything else fails, you'll have the game to play as you sit at home and take a break from your studies or your work or whatever, you know, you have to drop in the real world. Anyway, stay safe.
Yep.
Wash your hands. Wash your hands like you've been touching locusts and bloodsuckers and oodles. And yeah, take care of your parents. That's the most important thing, I think, right now. See you next week.
See ya.